Academy of Art University's Urban Nights update is next. Coming up, a new development at Bart's Palace Street Station.
A nationwide recall of a popular food product that comes from California.
You'll meet an expert in the butterfly knife trick and he'll show you how it's done.
Plus the ice skating experience that lets you learn with the champion. All that and more on Urban Nights update. Next. Hi there, and thanks for joining us here at Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update. I'm Rob Awali, and Matthew Sanchez is joining me, and here is what's happening. Investigators are still trying to piece together the fatal shootings of a 14-year-old and 11-year-old boy at a school parking lot in Union City, which is 30 miles away from San Francisco. It happened Saturday night as the two boys were sitting in a van parked at Sayers Elementary School. Witnesses say they heard gunshots and called 911. Police are looking into possible links to a gang violence or a non-fatal shooting that happened days earlier. No other information is available at this time.
Two people are under arrest in that Halloween shooting that happened in an Airbnb rental in Orinda. The Contra Costa Sheriff Department announced arrests last week. Previously, there were some suspects who were arrested and released. The two suspects aren't charged with murder. Whoever did the shooting still has not been caught. Suspect D'Amico Dones is charged with the possession of a firearm and the possession of ammunition. His bail is $300,000. 5 people were shot and killed at the party. They were between 19 years old and 29. It turns out that the suspect in the fatal BART stabbing last week has arrested just 12 hours before the killing on another charge. Jermaine Brim is accused of killing a passenger on BART after the victim tried to stop Brim from stealing another passenger's shoes. San Leandro police say Brim was arrested at 1 a.m. that morning. The assault of a paramedic emergency medical technician. There are still many unanswered questions about why he was arrested for the initial incident and why he was released.
Powell Station is finally reopening restrooms to the public. They have been shut down for nearly 20 years. Min-Jin Kim picks up the story.
Powell Station is one of the busiest stations among the BART system. An average of 28,876 passengers use Powell Station during weekday. Powell Station is always crowded with tourists as well as locals. However, even though a large number of passengers use the Powell Station, there is no public restroom at the Powell Station. Most of passengers use the restroom in the nearby mall. Since 911 attack when public restrooms were closed for public safety, Powell Station has not opened public restrooms until today.
I'm here at the Powell Station. Powell Station is planning to reopen the restroom to the public.
Last Thursday, BART announced that it will open public restroom for the first time in 18 years. This is a good news for BART agents and also the passengers.
Thing that now that I found out that they've reopened the bathroom. There's a lot of people, they always ask us like, where the bathroom, where can I use it? Is there a public bathroom? So we never knew there it was, but now that it's opening, we're happy about it.
Public restrooms are definitely like something that we need in like BART stations. It's like we have like a lot of people here, and like it's more like it's kind of like more work if we go to like other bathrooms, right? So like if we have it here, then that's good. And if they're clean, that's even better.
In addition, the Powell Station is planning a total modernization to provide a better environment for passengers. This plan includes moving ticket vending machines, installation of LED lighting on the platform, installation of glass barriers, and the relocating fare gates. At San Francisco, Min-Jin Kim from Urban Nights Update.
This renovation is expected to begin early in 2020 and will be completed in 2025. Now, if you have a walk in San Francisco downtown, especially around the Civic Center, it won't take a while before you spot faces on the sidewalks. As requests for faces removal pile up, San Francisco officials decided to extend a pilot program that consists of keeping 3 public bathrooms open around the clock. Run by the Public Works, they can't wait to see if the investment in round-the-clock access makes San Francisco streets cleaner. Early reports indicate that the public restrooms are located south of Market, get a lot of use, especially in the overnight hours.
If you love romaine lettuce in your salad or burritos, stop right there. There's a nationwide recall on romaine lettuce that comes from Salinas, California. The reason is contamination with the E. coli bacteria, which can cause severe stomach illness and even death among some people. So before you eat that Thanksgiving salad, make sure you are avoiding romaine lettuce from that area. Millennials' health is causing trouble for the U.S. economy. Their health habits are making health care change. Health insurance is going to have a higher rate for people who were born in between 1981 and 1996. It can go up to $4,500 per year. That is about $375 per year. This also can cause higher unemployment and slower income growth.
Recent studies show that 60% of your brain is composed of fat, which means that your brain depends on a steady supply of dietary fat for its health. Researchers at Oregon Health and Science University recently found that supplementing the diet of children who have been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder with omega-3s consistently lessens hyperactivity and was evaluated by the parents and teachers. The ACA students are getting support from the University of California. The UC system defended the rights of nearly 700,000 deferred action for childhood arrivals last week as the case appears before the US Supreme Court. The Trump administration wants to deport them because they were not born in the US and were brought here as children. They argue that they have no familiarity with the country where they were born, have been raised as Americans, and want to remain in this country. The Supreme Court says a decision can be expected sometimes between February and June of 2020. Every year, nearly 20 million students enroll in college or other post-secondary educational institutions. However, about 1 in 3 students who enroll in college never earn a degree. Nationwide, 1 in 5 freshmen will leave after the first year. Isn't that crazy? It is time for campuses to invest in thoughtful design and engineering, such as buildings and classrooms that foster social interaction and a sense of community. President Donald Trump hosted a debate to tackle the issues surrounding vaping in the country. Many health issues have been going on, and the reasons were because of the flavor juice which targets the youth. This debate was between representatives from the industry and health advocates. Trump is in hot water on which side to pick because if he decides to ban it completely, it will affect his votes from key states, namely Florida, Michigan, and Wisconsin. However, if he does not anything about it, it will affect the mothers of these kids, of whom he is already struggling with. Already more than 2,000 people in the US have suffered lung injuries because of vaping. In order to avoid more vaping injuries among young people, the Redwood City School District Board has approved putting vape detectors at 8 restrooms in the John F. Kennedy Middle School in Redwood City. The reason for this is because many vaping incidents have happened in that school. The detectors will send alerts to the school administration if the kids are vaping inside any of the restrooms. Reports from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that there have been 13 vaping-related deaths in the country.
Continuous squamous cell carcinoma is the second most common cancer in the nation. It is even more common than melanoma. However, not everyone knows what it is. According to research done by the Harris poll, 90% were familiar with melanoma and only 42% familiar with CSCC. This type of cancer can be life-threatening and can come and go. Make sure to educate yourself on this. With current diet trends, eliminating or reducing carbs and eating more proteins, now some doctors are saying that a high-protein diet could cause some harm as well. Doctors from MedicalExpress.com caution that although carb reduction and a high-protein diet is often recommended to lose weight, a lot of protein can help cause a kidney disease, and that's especially bad for people with diabetes who may need to lose weight, but who are also vulnerable to kidney problems. With the increasing number of people who are getting type 2 diabetes, 30% of them suffer from some kind of kidney disease, which is why the doctors want to get the word out about the potential harm of eating too much protein.
Butterfly knives have been made popular for martial artists for self-defense. However, according to cutlery wholesalers, a trend has come along wherein people use it for tricks as well. Our very own Gabriel Manotoc has more.
Diego has been doing butterfly knife tricks or flipping for around 2 years now. From spending a fair amount on purchasing them to actually joining competitions around the country, it has given him an extra hobby. He explains how.
Yeah, so flipping for me is just a hobby, and usually what I get from it is I'm able to focus on something else. So if I have a paper that I have to finish in the next week, I can just flip for maybe 5 or 10 minutes and get my mind off it for a second and start thinking. And another thing that I think most people get from hobbies is friends. I've met a bunch of people. I went to Atlanta and Portland just to meet those people that I met online. And it sounds kind of sketchy, but those are some of my closest friends now.
However, it is still a knife and can be dangerous at times. We spoke to his mother, Mavis, on how she deals with it.
Well, in the beginning, it was obviously unsettling because it is a blade and there are risks involved and he could get hurt and you do get nervous around it. But his interest just didn't fade and he enjoyed it thoroughly and he got good at it. And we began to see it as an art form and to a certain extent a sport, I guess. And it's so aligned with his personality because he likes taking risks and sometimes you just need to trust them and honor what their interests are and who they are.
A butterfly knife can cost about $10 to $1,000, but if you get the benefits it gives Diego, it is worth a try. In San Francisco, Gabriel Mantok for Urban Nights Update.
These knives come in different shapes and sizes. It's illegal to bring these outside if they are longer than 4 inches. If it is shorter than that, you can carry it with you as long as it's not a fixed blade.
Now let's go to Ryan Gamboa, who takes us at what's happening in the athletic department of AAU.
Hi there, RU sports fans. We're going to kick things off with Academy of Art women's basketball. The Lady Urban Knights have added 2 new major recruits to the 2020-21 campaign. A 5'5" point guard, Alyssa Munn from Redondo Union High School out of Redondo Beach, California. Munn received many accolades in her high school career, including tournament MVPs, Bay League MVP, and Division II Player of the Year. Also a state championship. The resume of a true competitor. The next recruit is a dual sport athlete, Drew Sharp from St. Anthony High School in Long Beach, California. Sharp also has a full resume, including section championships in track and field, so speed is the name of her game. Congrats to 2 new members of the Urban Knights family. Now, the Academy of Art University women's soccer team was slightly off from having their best season in program history. A record of 7, 8, and 3 left them under 500 overall. One player stood out for the footballers, and that was Anissa Wilson. She led the team with 13 goals and a .774 shot on goal percentage. She also was named to the All-Pac West first team, so congratulations with that accomplishment. The Urban Knights senior was stellar on the field, and to the general public, that's really all we know. Let's take a look at what Anissa is like off the field.
I like the chaos. I like everything that goes on in the city, the sound of traffic, everybody walking around. It's completely different than Fresno. Alex Morgan and I would say Mallory Pugh, probably Mallory Pugh because she's started out so young and going into the World Cup already at, 22? So, big inspiration. No? Guitar. And then I play a little bit of piano, but I don't play it like some of the other girls on the team. I just know a few songs.
Now, you may get a feel for what RU athletes are like off the field, but what are they really like in the classroom? I myself am a student athlete here at the Academy, and a common question that I get asked is, are you a painter? And the art school has sports? And it is always a shock to others, and what they don't know is that we get practical work experience while being instructed by professionals in the industry. Now, here's a short clip representing why you can be an artist and be an athlete.
Academy of Art University is the only art school in the NCAA.
No one really realizes an art school has an athletic department.
You can pursue it as an artist, you can pursue your love of sport, and you can be successful in both at the same time.
What I love most is that I can tie the two together. I can be a sports reporter, I can do stories on athletes, and that's something that I've always admired once I learned all the skill set in communications.
Academy of Arts men's basketball team is sitting at a record of 2-3. This week, on Wednesday the 27th, they will take on CCAA powerhouse Chico State at Kezar Pavilion in San Francisco. While the men continue their non-conference matchups, the women's basketball team will continue a 2-0 start with their first Pac-West matchup against Fresno Pacific December 5th in Fresno. You can follow all of your favorite ArtU sports teams on the ArtU Athletics Sports app or on artuathletics.com. Now that's all the time we have today for the Urban Knights Sports Update. I'm Ryan Gamboa. Back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. You don't necessarily have to have a good weather to practice your golf game. I found a place where golfers practice, regardless of rain or shine. San Francisco has many amazing golf courses and indoor facilities. Many golfers have their opinions on where they're going to go golf. Let's see what an employee, Gonzo Rios, at the indoor club facility has to say about indoor versus outdoor.
So I've been working here for about a month and a half and been coming here for about 2 years as a customer. And during baseball season, it was very beneficial to come in here because the weather wasn't, I guess, formidable to go outside. You know, it was always foggy or too cold. And it's honestly more expensive to go outdoors than indoors. We have good prices here, reasonable prices, and like I said, being indoors is a little bit more beneficial just because you get everything right away. You get to see where you're hitting it, how fast you're hitting it, what the ball speed, the spin, everything that you need to know that's going to help you improve your game. So I would definitely say practicing here is very beneficial.
Gonzo has said that practicing outside is best for you due to the fact that outside you can get the humidity, the long range, and also the weather. You can easily get a reader to see how far the hole is, but it depends on the golfer to whatever they prefer and what they are getting ready for.
So if I had to choose one, I would definitely say indoors because, like I said, you get the results fast.
As Gonzo had mentioned, it's very beneficial to use both facilities to get you working. It depends what you're trying to get ready for. But let's take a look and see what a regular has to say about his experiences.
I'd say the nice thing about the indoor facility is it removes a lot of the variables that can mess up your play. Like, for example, the terrain's smooth instead of lumpy. You know, you have a nice, like, temperature-controlled environment. You don't have to deal with wind or a lot of other factors. Usually the indoor environments can have a lot of machinery and other more quantitative measurement, type feedback, which is harder to get outdoors. And I'd say probably prefer indoors because it comes with all that stuff set up. You can really start, figuring out what are you doing wrong and get productive practice instead of just exercise.
In San Francisco, I'm Matt Sanchez with the Urban Knights Update. If you are looking for a great time to work on your skills and get good work in and get results, go ahead and take a visit to this facility.
And now, speaking of golf, let's turn it over to our very own Gabe Manotok, who is joined by our men's head golf cross-country, Andy Moran, to talk about his time here at AAU.
Thanks. I'm here with head golf coach Andy Moran, who's seen his fair share of highs and lows during his time here at the academy. So, Coach, what's so special about this season, especially having a really strong fall semester?
It's been nice to see the guys working really hard this fall. I think with all their hard work and efforts, they really kind of saw that come to fruition in the first 4 tournaments. And so I think everyone's motivated to keep working hard and get better for the spring and then work even harder to achieve our goals.
Yeah, so obviously we're in an art school and there are some challenges in getting players. So what did it take to really form this group?
Yeah, it is tough recruiting a lot of players to Academy of Art University. I've always been able to have 1, 2, or 3 really good standout players, but getting the 5 guys, 6 guys that we really needed in order to make an impact, it just took a long time. And I think the uniqueness of the school, it has a big impact on who really wants to come here and then who really knows that this isn't what they want. And so it's sort of communicating that vision with recruits about how what their 4 years, 5 years is going to be like here, and then getting those players to be on board with the vision of the team.
All right. So I guess your goal was really to make it to postseason every year because we haven't really made it. So how do you think the guys will handle this spring season, thinking in their mind that like it's reachable now? It's like
yeah, I think they just got to believe in themselves. One of my goals as a coach is to really focus on making them believe in what they're capable of. And once they can do that as a group, then I think it won't be a problem getting there, and I think it'll be something that they'll be able to achieve each and every year. But it's just getting over that hump of making it to postseason and making those dreams come a reality.
So you played college golf as well. So any like advice you tell the players to think about when they're out on the course, like especially preparing now, because it starts.
Sure, yeah. Like when I've played, it's just something that they have to want internally. It has to be an intrinsically motivated thing that they want. And I think if players just sort of say they want it but don't, essentially walk the walk. If you can talk the talk, but if you don't walk the walk, then you're not going to reach those goals. So it's really just being intrinsically motivated and really wanting to do it as an individual and as a team.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Coach. Back to you.
Thanks, Gabe. A schedule change for the NBA might be coming sooner than you think. The NBA is working with its broadcasters, partners, and the Players' Union to radically change the league calendar starting potentially in 2021-2022. The proposal is to add an early season tournament, which also means the number of pre-playoff games would only drop to 78 from the current 82. This is still just an idea, but as the season goes, we will see what happens. Representatives for Colin Kaepernick say he still has not received any firm interest from any NFL teams after his walkout last week. This comes after a conflicted and long-awaited walkout. Last Saturday, the NFL scheduled a walkout to take place at the Falcons facility, but Kaepernick's camp decided to switch venues after a disagreement between the two sides on the quarterback's liability waiver and media availability. This has caused a big debate on whether or not Kaepernick was wrong or right for not showing up and switching the walkout location. Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph is denying that he used a racial slur to provoke the fight that resulted in suspension for Myles Garrett. As many have seen on video, the Browns' offensive ended charging the quarterback, ripping off his helmet and attacking him with it. The Garrett suspension is indefinite. Rudolph himself was fined $50,000, and in the end, 33 players were fined for their part in the brawl, costing more than $732,000 in total.
Frozen is back with making an incredible debut worldwide. During opening weekend, Frozen 2 hit $242.5 million, which beat $240 million record of Toy Story 4. The original film, Frozen, recorded $1.27 billion worldwide. Can Frozen 2 beat up the original work? Well, we'll see. This time, Elsa and Anna go back to their childhood to protect their kingdom's future. Frozen 2 is now in theater. Julia Roberts as Harriet Tubman, a Hollywood executive, originally suggested that Roberts play the role of the African-American heroine. The worked against slavery and saved people using the Underground Railroad network of safe houses that led slaves from the South to freedom. The scriptwriter Gregory Howard said that some people in the meeting did not like the idea. However, he recalls that one said that it was a long time ago and no one will remember that Tubman was African American. Luckily, he was overruled and actress Cynthia was taped to take on the role. Next, we have Selena Arjona Alcazar, who is going to tell us of what's happening in entertainment.
Hi, and welcome to the entertainment segment. It's almost end of the year, and 2020 is coming up fast with next surprises for all of those movie lovers. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are reunited for more time for the last ride on Bad Boys 3. This one is titled Bad Boys for Life. This movie, full in action and comedy, became super popular with their first two movies, and now let's see what the third movie is bringing. This movie will be released on January 17 of 2020. Before 2019 ends, the movie that went from table game to a video game is releasing a new movie on December 13, Jumanji: The Next Level. This game becoming harder and harder. This new 4-players game make new changes in order to save their friends. Once again, we will be seeing The Rock, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillian, and Jack Black as the characters inside of the game. A new appearance from Danny DeVito, Alex Wolff, Danny Glover, and Nick Jonas. Here's the trailer.
Spencer.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Are you out of your mind? We haven't even picked our guys yet.
Oh, I hate this part. All right.
You hear something?
Huh? Spencer.
Huh?
What?
Who are you?
Oh my God. You're Spencer's grandfather.
Are we in Florida?
And you?
Milo Walker. Did I die and turn into some kind of a small, muscular Boy Scout?
Are we dead?
Bethany?
No!
Rich?
I'm the old fat dude. This can't be happening! My hip sure feels good now.
Look at my thighs.
Look at your thighs.
Look at my thighs.
Okay, we have some issues here. The game is busted.
It was a game. I'm not it. I don't want to be it.
Welcome to Jumanji.
If you thought that Star Wars: The Last Jedi was going to be the last movie, you were wrong. On December 19, Star Wars released movie number 9, The Rise of Skywalkers. And people keep asking this question, is this going to be the last movie? We might never know, but there is the preview.
Your destiny. The Force will be with you.
Always.
That was all for this entertainment segment. Back to you.
And if you recently visited Disneyland Resort in Southern California, you may have noticed that some areas have been closed. The reason? The construction of a new entrance for Tomorrowland, which was starting to look not so tomorrow-ish. The new entrance is scheduled to be finished next year. It will feature wider pathways with space age-inspired spires that will remind you of past Tomorrowland entrances and their feelings of optimism about the future. For those of you who think that Black Friday does not take effect until Black Friday on November 29th, please don't get trapped. You should take a look at the crazy deals in Amazon's early Black Friday that includes AirPods 2 starting at $139, discounts up to $100 off popular Apple models, and a rare $15 discount on AirPods Pro. Don't miss that. Holiday time means time for the ice skating rink at Union Square to open. Our own Ryan Gamboa went down to the rink and has the story of a figure skater who touches the lives of many on the ice.
From the Santa Rosa Figure Skating Club of Santa Rosa, California, a nice welcome please for Melinda Spear.
U.S. figure skating national champion Melinda Spear is at the helm of the Bay Area's most popular holiday skating rink. Spear began skating at a very young age after attending a friend's birthday party on the ice. Lessons with Christy Ness, coach of Olympic gold medalist Kristi Yamaguchi, followed soon after. She eventually had to hang up the skates because her family could not afford to pay for the coaching. It wasn't until age 22 that she was able to chase a medal. In 2013, she won a U.S. figure skating national championship, shocking the nation, making a statement for late bloomers that anything is possible. But for now, Melinda has shifted her focus while competing on the side.
At Yerba Buena, I have my own coaching business, so I'm an independent contractor there. But I actually also teach skating school. So yeah, I teach private lessons, I teach group classes.
She encourages me to always do my best. She usually helps me and shows me what tricks. She is always in a good spirit, and she always helps me.
Her late start and many medal accomplishments don't stop her from coaching at work. Her and I both hit the ice for a quick private lesson.
A spin, it's just how you learn how to glide. As a glide in a circle.
Okay.
So like, when you freeze, you're gonna glide in a
Okay.
circle. So just try marching in a circle, and then try to freeze.
Figure skating national championship wasn't enough. Melinda found herself auditioning for Holiday on Ice, landing a stellar role on the European tour, representing her talents in full production rather than competition. Her time faded with show business, leaving her to move back to the Bay Area 2 years ago, then landing a gig with the Union Square Ice Rink 6 months ago. I asked her if at one point it was all about the medal, and her response led to some of the best advice that anyone could take.
It's not about the medal, it's who you get to be when you get the medal, truly. Who you have to, the hard work, everything you have to do to get the medal. I always tell that to my students. Yeah. That's the reward. Kind of like being a good person. You don't expect something back, but it just feels good to be a good person, right? So.
In San Francisco, I'm Ryan Gamboa for Urban Knights Update.
Looks like a lot of fun, but wonder how long it's going to take for Ryan to look a little more graceful on the ice.
Well, looks like he's not ready yet. That wraps up this edition of Academy of Art University's Urban Knights Update. I'm Rob Awali.
And I'm Matthew Sanchez. For everyone here, thanks for watching. See you back next time. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday.